Hello and welcome to the Whiteboard Classroom. In this module, we would be studying about Norma Verticalis. Norma Verticalis is skull view from its superior aspect. From its superior aspect, we are able to appreciate the shape of skull as oval in outline and being more wider posteriorly compared to the anterior part. So the bones which we are able to appreciate in Norma Verticalis, so we are able to appreciate the upper part of the frontal bone, the parietal bones, the right parietal and the left parietal bone, and we are able to appreciate the occipital bone. So the squamous part of occipital bone is seen in the posterior aspect. Now, after the bones, we are able to appreciate the sutures. So we are able to appreciate three important sutures. The first one being the coronal suture. So this suture is nothing but the coronal suture, which is present between the frontal bone and the parietal bone. Next one is the sagittal suture. So this is the sagittal suture, which is in between the right parietal and the left parietal bone. The next one is the lambdoid suture. So this is the lambdoid suture, which is present between the parietal bone and the occipital bone. Along with that, in some cases, in about 3 to 8% individuals, we are able to appreciate metopic suture over here. So between the two frontal bones, if they are not fused, we are able to appreciate metopic suture. Let's learn about some of the main features. First one being the vault of skull. So the vault of skull is nothing but dome-shaped architecture of the roof of skull. The next one is the vertex. So the vertex is nothing but the point of maximum height. So the point of maximum height of skull is vertex, and it could be better visualized from the side view. The next important point is Bregma. So this is Bregma, which is nothing but the meeting point of sagittal suture with the coronal suture, and this point represents the area of anterior fontanelle. So in the fetal skull, there is a membranous gap, and this gap is called as anterior fontanelle, and it gets closed by 18 to 24 months. The next important point is the lambda. So this point is lambda, which is nothing but the meeting point of lambdoid suture with the sagittal suture. This point represents the area of posterior fontanelle, and the posterior fontanelle gets closed by the age of 2 to 3 months. After that, we are able to appreciate parietal tubal or parietal eminence. So this is called as parietal tubal or tubal eminence. This is the most convex part. Along with that, this part is the widest part of the skull. So because of its anatomy also, it is a prone area for damage. So is a common site of fracture. We are able to appreciate parietal foramen. So this is parietal foramen. There are two parietal foramens, one on each side, and the area in between the parietal foramen is called as Obelion. We can also see temporal lines. So the temporal lines, which are better visualized in Norma Lateralis, can also be appreciated to some extent in Norma Verticalis. So this is the temporal line. So the superior part of the temporal line could be appreciated. Let's learn some important facts about fontanelles, which are important for viva. Fontanelles are site of growth of brain. Thus, it permits the growth of brain within. So, if a fontanelle gets fused early, it leads to brain stunting and thus the lower intelligence in children. The next thing is, these fontanelles can be used to assess the fluid status of baby. So, if the anterior fontanelle is bulging, it represents raised intracranial pressure, but if it is depressed, it represents decrease in intracranial pressure, which is most commonly due to dehydration. The next thing is, fontanelles helps in overriding of bone over one another, which helps in easy delivery. And sometimes during delivery, there is rupture of capillaries, which leads to soft tissue swelling of any part of skull. This is called as caput succedaneum. And the caput succedaneum subsides within few days of postnatal life.